My name is Michael Lausch. I was asked to play the moderator on this event today. And the main topic of this side event is focusing on the fight against extremism.
Thank you, Michael. Dear ladies and gentlemen, also from my side, warm welcome. Grüß Gott. Hoş geldiniz. Merhaba. I am one co-initiator of the European Citizen Initiative Stop Extremism, and I would also like to welcome here my colleague Seyran. Already will give, after my speech, a clear message to the OSCE institutions why our initiative, which was intended to be focusing on the European Union level, is indeed a movement relevant to the OSCE region too. As I pointed out during my short statement earlier today at our working session, Stop Extremism has led the European Commission to a comprehensive anti-extremism package of measures at the legal level which would allow an effective and joint action by all member states against tendencies that are based on hate speech, intolerance, leading to extremism and terror. It is the state and the running elite of Qatar. Qatar founded through its Qatar Foundation movements in the West that are the source of extremism, hate speech, anti-Semitism and intolerance. Qatar Charity aims at introducing Islamic culture and strengthening its presence in the Western communities. But in fact, it just transports its fundamentalist visions of coexistence instead of integration and Islamic perversion of non-Muslim societies. It founds organizations, mosques and charities which are linked to the Muslim Brotherhood in Europe with at least more than 97 million euro. This includes millions of funding for official Islamic centers in Italy, in Denmark, in France, and in other countries also. Muslim Brotherhood organizations are there. They are in Europe. On top of this, Qatar makes substantial contributions to British educational institutions, which do also have ties to Muslim Brotherhood. With the help of Qatar, one of the spiritual heads of the Muslim Brotherhood was able to promote concept of intolerance, extremism among the Muslim population in the OSCE region on a large scale. His words constantly reflect fundamentalist and extremist ideas, including the approval of suicide bombers in Israel, the support of polygamy and the beating of women, the consent of corporal punishment for homosexuals, and the death penalty for converts leaving Islam. We can only protect us by using and adapting our laws, having intense and constant cooperation between our states and multilateral institutions. This is Stop Extremism. Thank you for your attention.
Extremism is one major threat of our times. It is built on intolerance, ignorance, homo and xenophobia, and it began to spread in the heart of Europe. When I talk more about Islam, the reason for that is because I'm Muslim and I'm inside this community. I knew this very very well. But I can also talk about the other kinds of extremism. We recognize hate monger in mosques, which are founded by states like Qatar and radical fundamentalists from Turkey. There's an agitation against freedom and democracy, education, and against gender equality, which is my very most point. Supporters of the radical Islamic Muslim Brotherhood are engaging propaganda against tolerance and unbelievers. They call everybody unbelievers who are not Muslim. This is not freedom of religion. And those preachers of extremism don't work undercover. They sometimes are able to speak under the umbrella and with the cooperation of Western administration. This has to stop. The Western institutional and administrative bodies are obligated to protect the values its citizens were fighting for in the last centuries. Protection means, in our case, that supporters of extremist tendencies, supporters of intolerance, hate speech, even organizations close to terrorism are allowed to raise their voice and being active within our borders. Please imagine just for 1 second the following scenario. There's a centralized Ministry of Religion in Germany with a budget of 1.5 billion and 125 staffers led by Chancellor Merkel, who personally decides how religion acts in Germany and in all countries where Germans live. This is the actual case in Turkey with Diyanet. Any prayer in a Turkish mosque has to be supervised by it all. All 1,000 religious centers in Germany receive the text for the Friday sermon from Ankara without exception. And not enough, this controlled and centralized religious voice of President Erdogan is the only institution the German government is cooperating with concerning religion, education of Turkish people living in Germany. The German branch of Diyanet, DİTİB, in Austria Ateş, receives millions of euro German taxpayers' money every year. Come back to Turkey's power in Germany. What makes me really sad is that the extremism is paid by a country and divide the Turkish community in Germany. We have the development of a full-service Islam in Europe, financed by Turkish state-controlled organizations, but also by extremist groups like Milli Görüş and Muslim Brotherhood, tolerated by the German authorities. Education in kindergartens teaching a conservative Islam based on patriarchal system. 4-year-old girls have to wear headscarves already. Imam Hatip schools where pupils are educated to become imams. They exist throughout Europe. French, German, or English are only taught as foreign languages. And don't misunderstand, again, I'm not fighting against Orthodox or conservative or other believers. I want to fight together with them, shoulder and shoulder, against extremism. Another example that should terrify all citizens within the OSCE region, but also legislators in the influence of the Muslim Brotherhood within our borders. Between 2007 and 2016, the Muslim Brotherhood paid 120.5 million euro to organizations in Europe. Most of the money went to France, 41.5 million, UK, 21.1 million, Italy, 25 million, and Denmark, 20 million. The donations went to various big mosques and Islamic centers, schools and imam training institutes in France, 43 mosques in Italy, 1 big mosque in Denmark, another big mosque and Islamic center in the UK, plus several other projects in Sweden, Ireland, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Spain. Those donations were not made through undercover channels in order to hide its real source. No, everything was and is transparent. You can find it for yourself.